We here with the second episode of Dolo Discussions, where the most important conversations are the ones you have with yourself. But today, we're going to be having a group discussion with a special guest, Alexa Rae.
Hello.
Hey, woo. I'm going to put in a little fake crowd noise and all that. But yeah, Alexa is a singer, songwriter, artist, one of my favorite artists in the 757, to be honest. And yeah, so first I want to start just telling the people kind of how I met you. I believe it was at Fuse Fest, I believe it was. It was like some outdoor festival. They were giving away backpacks to the kids and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, no, was it before? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was at Fuse Fest.
Yeah,
That
that's-
was like, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
The year before last.
Yeah,
Wow.
something like that. Cause I remember you were on stage and you were performing, and I knew Calvin at the time.
Okay.
Well, actually, I didn't. Matter of fact, no, I didn't. I don't think I knew Calvin. I got introduced to Calvin. Matter of fact, and I was asking him like, "Hey, did you produce this?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I really just rock with your music, and then we just pretty much connected from there. But yeah. So the first thing I do want to get into, I do have to ask you. We kind of talked about this a little bit before, so. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say that for later. Actually, I'm gonna say that for later. I'm gonna say I don't want to get too into it at the very beginning. I'm gonna say that for later. But let's start off. Actually, I have a segment. It's called Worst Moments. So
Okay.
social media, most of the time, is people showing off their best moments. It's like a highlight reel. So for this segment, I want to know what's a moment that you look back on that you can kind of laugh at yourself, like, oh man, that was a bad moment. Like that was kind of embarrassing for me.
Okay, so
many.
Yeah. My most, I guess, the biggest one for me that has happened recently was when I went on Timbaland's
Oh,
live
man.
show to
Uh-oh.
showcase my music, and he played it for 30 seconds and told me to turn it off.
Oh man.
And I was like, damn. And the song didn't even start. I didn't even get to the best
Yeah.
part, And I'm like, damn.
The beat didn't even drop.
The beat didn't even drop, But on one end, I had to respect it. And it
Yeah.
was my worst moment. Like, I was like, oh my God, I hate my life. I'm from Virginia.
man.
He's from Virginia. But I will say it made me want to go harder.
Mm-hmm.
And right after that, that's when I ended up opening up for Mac Ayres
Hey,
at the
see?
Norva and the Nationals. So don't give up, guys. Because
See?
had I had quit, I would never have had that opportunity. And it helped me. It did.
Mm-hmm.
It made me want to be better, And despite whether I agreed with him or not, I had
Yeah.
to respect. I had to respect his opinion
For
for
sure.
who he is. So at the end of the day, I had to just tell myself, like, you know what? No hard feelings. Like,
Yeah.
it is what it is. And I'll be back for vengeance.
Damn. For vengeance. I was like, I didn't expect that to be the conclusion statement on that, but okay. But nah, I think that's dope though. Actually, a quote that I heard recently was like, a no doesn't mean that you can't do it. It just means you can't do it with them.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean? So that was just his opinion, but that's not to say that there's not the yes, waiting
the
for
way.
you. And like you saw, it was immediately after that somebody did stamp you like, okay, I want you to open up for Mac Ayres. So it's kind of funny you mentioned Timbaland though, because like, and on this segment I share a worst moment too. And I have a whole bunch of them. So I'm actually curious how many times I can do this. But this was actually, and it involves Timbaland. I was like 19, and I knew one of his engineers in the studio. It was like my mom's coworkers, nephews.
Oh, one of those type of
yeah, something crazy like that, where somehow this web of people led back to me. And I was able to go to his studio at the time. Anybody that's like familiar with the area, y'all know Timbaland. He used to have a studio. He actually sold it. It was called Thomas Crown Studio in Virginia Beach.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even know that.
Yeah. So I went there, and especially I'm a hip hop artist, so it's like all the hip hop artists that you look up to, for the most part, a lot of them have like a story of like, all right, yeah, I rap for Kanye or J. Cole, he gave the CD to Jay-Z or something. So I'm thinking like, oh, this is my nigga, this is my moment right here. I went to the studio with Timbaland, like, you know what I'm saying? And like, he wasn't there. It was just his engineer. And they was listening to my music. They liked my music, but what they said was like, I didn't stand out enough. Like it wasn't original enough or whatever at the time. So I guess they wanted me to be like weird or something.
Course,
you know what I mean?
of course. Like a gimmicky.
Yeah. So he gave me a chance though. He gave me a beat from Danger, the producer, and I had rapped over it, whatever. And he literally told me like, yeah, I have like the power. I could just call Timbaland and like get you signed right now, whatever.
Gosh.
So I'm gassed up. No, I'm gassed. I'm like, bro, this is it. Like I've been waiting for this. You know what I mean? So like time goes by after I did it. I'm trying to call him, get in contact. I'm not getting in contact with him. Maybe like a few months later, he calls me. I'm with my homies, and I remember like I like leave out the crib. I'm like, oh yo, he called me. And he basically just tell me like, yeah, you really talented, but there's always the but at the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I just feel like you need to have your own style, blah, blah, whatever. And it's like, damn, what happened to artist development, bro?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just, all right.
We've lost the plot.
Yeah. And it's like, bro, I'm 19. So you can imagine I'm like hurt by this or whatever. Because I'm like, I'm young, I'm immature, and I'm just like, dang, bro, like, what do I have to do? Like, you're telling me I'm talented, but it's like, I gotta eat a cockroach in a video, like Tyler, the Creator or something,
right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, Tyler, the Creator is super dope and everything, but it's like, I'm thinking that's probably what he was thinking, like,
I got
it has to be something that's like out there or whatever, you know what I mean? So for me, that was definitely like a worse moment, kinda, but, you know, kinda to your point, I felt like it was helpful. I did need to hear some of the stuff that he said. Like he was telling me like, oh, your beat selection could be better. Like,
oh yeah, he told me that too.
Yeah.
That's actually the first thing he dogged. Yeah.
Oh, at Timbaland?
Yeah. He was like, who made this?
Oh,
I'm
man.
like, dang.
Wait, was it Calvin?
Yes, man. And I called Calvin. He was laughing.
I bet.
Calvin ain't care.
I bet.
Calvin was weak.
I bet. But to that point though, like even the engineer, his name is Bird, by the way, he was telling me like, yo, for a new single, like Missy, she'll listen to 100 Timbaland beats and not like any of them. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. You talking about Timbaland.
Yeah.
And you not picking none of those beats. And it just kind of made me like, okay, maybe I should be more selective with the sounds that I'm picking and everything. And I felt like it did make me want to just, I don't know, kind of do my own thing and kind of really get more creative. Like it did put a little battery in my back. So that's what worst moments.
Maybe it wasn't a worst moment.
Exactly. So, but yeah, so you did mention opening up for Mac Ayres though. Like, would you say that's like the biggest show that you've done so far? And like, how was that experience for you?
That experience was crazy, in a good way. I feel like it really showed me how things are supposed to run and operate. So that changed my perspective as far as like who I do business with, who I involve myself with. Not that I'm better than anybody, but it just... there was nothing. I literally just had to show up and be the artist, you know, and I was paid for my time. So just really experiencing that whole thing was just crazy. Like I'll say, I give total kudos to anyone who tours because just those 2 days, I was dying. Like I was tired. Like I'm like, this is crazy. Like
so
just
you did 2 shows?
Yeah, so I performed in Richmond first at the National, and then the next day I performed at the Norva in Norfolk.
Oh wow!
So it was like I was kind of with them,
little
you know,
tour.
like a little mini tour. They were all so welcoming too. Like nobody made me feel like I didn't belong, you know. So that, again, put a battery in my back. But at the same time, I do feel like I felt like I was starting to become stagnant and kind of waiting. I let that moment define me so much that I felt like if I didn't do anything bigger or equal to that, then I wasn't progressing. So that caused me to be stagnant for a very long time, just trying to like figure out what I want to do, where I want to go next. But I always, you know, even though I hadn't put out anything, I'm always writing or trying to write, and just, keep at it. So
Yeah.
when that time does come, then I can come back full throttle.
Yeah.
And that's my plan actually right now.
For sure, for sure. So I mean, would you say, like, when you say stagnant, would you say you got like comfortable or something, or like?
Not really comfortable, but as you know, where we live, opportunities like that don't come often.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was stagnant, although I
Okay,
wasn't.
gotcha. Right, yeah.
I wouldn't say I was, but I
Oh,
felt,
it's like mentally,
yeah,
like,
mentally,
because I'm not doing the next
yes,
big thing or
yes.
whatever. Oh, okay.
So I felt like I was falling off.
Yeah,
as
right.
you would say.
yeah.
And in all actuality, that wasn't, what was happening. It was just I had a big moment, and it was great. And maybe I had to think, like, was I expecting more from it? Kind of like what you were telling me with the Timbaland, like you thought that was your moment.
Right.
I'm like, maybe I felt like this was going to take me out of here. And when it didn't, it was like, okay, back to the drawing board, but not in a bad way,
right,
because now I'm like, all right, if I did it once, I can do it again, and this time, next time, I just hope, we're at the dome.
Yeah, exactly. The scope, something like
yes.
that. Yeah. But that's the thing, like, it's like you learn a lesson from it too.
Exactly.
Like, and something that I hear a lot, and I know Steph Curry says it a lot, is like you never want to get too high, get too low, or whatever.
Right.
And I think for us as artists, we can get in our own heads.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Even as simple as, like, I have to catch myself even when I just post something and I'm like, ooh, I got likes. I'm getting likes or something.
Me
you know
too.
what I mean? You kind of have to relax. It's like, okay, don't even look at that. Like,
It's the
think about
dopamine.
what's the next post? What's
Right.
the next
Post and
thing
go.
you about to work on? You know what I mean? So I can definitely relate to that too. Because I feel like early on, like, what happened with me was very early on, honestly, around the same time when I was 19, I had a video on World Star Hip Hop. Wow. And this is like around the time right? But that's what I'm saying. It was like the height of World Star, where like people would wake up every day and like just log into World Star. And so in the area, like, a lot of people knew who I was from that or whatever. And I wouldn't say that I became like stagnant, but I think like mentally though, for a long time, it was like after I did that, it was like I had already had in my mind like, oh, my trajectory is gonna be like this. But then I did that and I'm like, okay, people know who I am, people respect me, like, all right, it's just gonna keep going up from here. And I kind of got caught in that same feeling of like, dang, like I'm not doing something that people are looking at like, oh, you did that, you know what I mean? And honestly, I just feel like that's a trap for us as artists. Like,
I agree.
we can't think like that, because when are you ever gonna stop? You know what I mean?
Right.
You're gonna keep like, okay, I did this.
It's like a fix you'll never get, or a void you'll never fill.
Yeah,
because you'll always be looking for the next thing.
Yeah, it's like I had 100,000 streams, but it's not 1 million. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? It's like,
you.
bro, you got 100,000 streams.
Wow.
You got people.
Yeah, that's impressive.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
especially for them.
But we can do that to ourselves, unfortunately. And I think social media plays a big role in that too,
for
where
sure.
it's like there's a constant need to like almost like
please.
Yeah, that and like almost like prove that you are who you say you are.
That's
like
true.
Over and over and over again. It can honestly be tiring. But I do want to touch on one of the things you said. You said when you performed at that show, you were just an artist. Like you didn't have to worry about anything else. And that just reminded me of like, yeah, there's so many times like performing at a show where you don't even know what time you're performing. You're asking people like, yo, what's up? And then it's like,
or you don't get to perform at all.
There's that. You know? There's that too. They done put your name on the flyer. They done used you to promote and all that stuff. So I do want to kind of touch on that because this is actually a topic that came up recently. I'm not sure if you know Charlie, the singer.
I don't.
No, it's all good. That's my homegirl. She's a singer as well, but she.
I do know Charlie.
Yeah, On Instagram, I think it's like Nana X. Yeah. Charlie need to change her shit.
Shout out to Charlie, yes.
But she had mentioned like, you know, why why are there all these people like charging the artists to perform, and like y'all not even really providing opportunities for the artists, and it kind of caused them.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't
she
say
caused the uproar,
little stir, I
controversy.
guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I guess what's your like take on that whole thing, like artists paying to perform and kind of the culture around here?
So I actually agree with her on an artist standpoint, but on a business side, I do get why certain agencies or people who put on showcases, I do see why they would charge. However, I do feel if you are taking that route, then your ish has to be together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You should have guaranteed 100+ people that are showing up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like all your ducks should be in a row before you can even think of doing that. And there are some individuals who do not, who don't have that, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Now there are people out here that I have worked with that
For sure.
they're great. Shout out to Antidote Agency. Never had an issue with them. My people. Shout out to Jay. Very professional and puts on great shows. He takes care of his artists, and I appreciate stuff like that.
Jay is cool. Jay is cool. I met him recently.
Yeah, he
really
is. And but I don't think Nana Charlie. Sorry, I don't think she was wrong for how she felt at all. And I do agree with a lot of what she said.
For sure,
because there has to be a change.
I agree too. It's crazy though, because I feel like it's like that everywhere, and it's even worse in like bigger cities. I think the only thing I don't like, and it doesn't have nothing to do with Charlie, but I think in general, people here, they'll take the negative things about here and make it seem like it only happens here or something. Like, it's worse in a bigger city. Like in Atlanta, like you might be paying $100 to perform for 5 minutes, and it's just
or more.
And it's like, oh, T.I.'s homeboy is there, so you know what I mean.
I have actually fun. Sorry to cut you off. No, you just triggered a memory. Doechii Loaf, sorry girl. She tried to charge me $10,000 for a 6-second intro. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Yeah, that just made me remember that, so I had to just.
But you know what? That's really the like, I don't want to do it price, but like if I can't refuse at that price.
Right.
Like I feel like no, because sometimes I try, like if somebody asks me to do like a photo shoot and I don't want to do it or something, I might be like,
hit them over the head.
Much, and it's like, I don't want to do it, but at that price, I can't refuse.
Right.
So that's like the fuck it price.
No,
right
for real.
Fuck
That's how it felt. But shout out to Doechii. Love you, girl.
Nah, she honestly, she like created a whole sound wave that a lot of people use now.
Oh, for sure.
And she doesn't really get a lot of credit for it.
She doesn't. I agree.
Like even somebody like Alexa Rae, I think she's really dope, but like a lot of her like style, I feel like is very similar to Doechii Loaf.
I agree. Because she would balance from the masculinity and femininity very well. The tone,
the way you're using your voice, stuff like that. And I mean, even Doechii, he did a lot of that stuff. They collaborated together, but yeah, shout out to Doechii Loaf. She really like.
Fact, she's the truth. One of one.
She one of the ones. She one of the ones. But that is actually a perfect segue into our next segment.
Okay.
Which is called Who the Features. So on this segment, I want to know who is somebody that if you could collaborate with anybody, who would it be? That's the first part of the question, and then there's a second part of the question too. But I'll let you answer the first part first.
If I could collaborate with anyone right now, Doechii.
Ooh,
hands down.
Yeah,
I love Doechii. That is my girl. I feel like she is just a force to be reckoned with, and she would make me push the hell out of my pen.
Yeah,
at the same time. So
I could hear that too.
It's like not a competitive thing, but it's like I feel like she would challenge me in a good way.
For sure.
And
it's
I
like
think
iron
we would
sharpens
make
iron.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like y'all would create a dope record. I like that too because I feel like both of y'all are like really versatile with y'all like voices and what y'all do. Y'all both sing, rap. Like I feel like that would be ill.
Right.
For real.
Let's put
like,
it in the air.
That would be ill. The Doechii collab. But all right. So the second part of the question, this one is a deeper question.
Okay.
So, if there was a feature about the human race that you could update, like if you're like the same way you update a phone, there's a new feature. What would you update about humanity?
Ooh.
Like, what would you change?
I would change the lack of empathy that people have.
That's a good one.
I feel like nowadays, and I somewhat blame social media. No, I do blame social media.
Yeah.
I feel like we have learned to stop having empathy for people and just
For sure.
things that people go through. I feel like we can act like we're better than one another when in reality we're all human and nobody is perfect. And I feel like we need to stop, acting like we are. Like, for example, say somebody like fell outside on the street, the amount of people who would walk by that person, instead of saying like, hey, do you need anything?
Yeah.
To where I feel like,
Probably
back
record
in
them from across the street.
exactly
All that. Yeah.
right, recording them from across the street on their phone, like instead
Yeah.
of seeing if they need help. Like, but I feel like back in the day, everyone, there would have been a army around them, like,
Yeah.
oh, is everything okay? And I feel like we've just really lost that. Music aside, just as a humanity thing, I feel like we definitely need to be more empathetic and show more grace to each other.
Yeah.
Because we're all going through stuff.
Yeah.
Some, of course, is worse. Some people deal with, worse things than others. But
Right.
at the end of the day, we're all going through our own stuff. So we just need to be a little nicer to each other.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. And I think to add on to what you're saying about social media, I think one of the effects is it's kind of made a lot of people feel like disposable, where it's like in the past, like the relationships you had, I think people would value them more because it's like, all right, this person might move and you might never talk to them, see them again. But now it's like, all right, you can easily access people. And I feel like it makes it so you can easily dispose of them too. Like, all right, whatever. Like,
You're done. Blocked.
Yeah. And there's like, well, there's this whole world of people out here that I can see and talk to and interact with all the time. So why would I care as much about whoever, especially if there's like an issue or something going on. So I don't know. I think that's one of the there's so many effects of social media, but yeah, I agree with you.
No, absolutely.
I really like that answer that you gave, though. It's a nice political answer. You know what I mean?
Why, thank you.
You know what I mean?
Alexa
No, I know
Rae
you
for
really
president.
mean it.
No,
but,
I did mean it, though.
Hey, Alexa Rae for president. Go ahead. Start the hashtag. But all right, so the next segment, this one is called Thread It or Dead It. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into Threads, the app. Are you familiar with that? Okay, cool.
The fake X. Well, Twitter.
basically the twin, the clone of Twitter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna read threads, like the top 3 threads that come up here, because people say a lot of interesting stuff. And so if you wanna chime in and comment on the thread, then we're gonna thread it. If you don't really have nothing to say about it, then we just gonna dead it.
Okay.
All right, so let me go ahead. Let me open the app. All right, let's see what we got. See, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting from the jump. This person said, no emotionally mature person wants to be famous.
Ooh, thread it.
Okay, we threaten that. How you feel about that?
I actually agree.
What makes you say that? What makes you agree with that?
I feel like
I gotta take the screenshot.
if you're an emotionally aware person, to where what comes with fame, nobody would want it, for real, because you have a microscope on your back all the time. You can't go anywhere. People are in your business. You could just wake up to 10,000 people joking you on Twitter, especially.
For sure.
They're ruthless over there.
For sure.
But
it's toxic on Twitter. I can't hold you. It's not even that toxic on Threads.
But I actually do agree. And I feel like a lot of people, for a lot of artists too, fame is not the end goal.
For sure.
For a lot, I think most artists these days just would, like to live off of their music, you
Yeah.
know, and tour off their music and make a living for themselves. And I feel like most people in today's time are content with that.
Yeah.
But like the superstardom, I feel like a lot of artists are, you know, I'm sure there are artists still who are like, no, that's what I want to do. But
Right.
I do feel like if you are an emotionally aware person, you would know that what comes with fame would not be worth your mental.
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse, and it's interesting though because I actually saw a video from Bryson Tiller yesterday on Threads, and he was saying like, honestly, if Drake or Chris Brown was just like, yo, bro, just write for me, and I could feed my family the same way I can right now, I would just do that.
Wow.
He was like,
And I don't blame
He was
him.
like, I don't want to be an artist, like for real, like. He was like, obviously he loves making music and everything. That's obvious, but he was saying like he really doesn't enjoy the idea of being like out there and like being on the forefront and stuff. And I thought that was really interesting because I mean, yeah, he is very talented, you know what I mean? And usually those people, they want to be the center of attention.
Right.
Well, at least that's what we've seen or
Right.
been marketed to, you know what I mean, that way. So
That actually reminds me of The Dream.
The Dream,
Yeah,
did he say something similar?
Well,
or?
no, but he kind of proved Bryson's point because he writes a lot of Beyonce stuff, almost all her stuff now. And you see
Yeah.
he doesn't drop music.
Yeah.
So
Cause he don't need
Yeah,
to. He
you
chilling.
know, he's
like,
writing
what? I don't
the
need to be out
hits.
here performing and you know what I
Exactly.
mean, shaking people's hands and all that. I get to sit back, get a bag,
Exactly.
and just create
and be in the shadows.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but he once was the forefront, you
right,
know?
right,
So I think that's dope. I wouldn't mind doing that either.
for sure. All right, that's a bet. Well, that's the first one. Let's see what's the next one. It'd be a lot of pictures and videos too.
Oh,
the whole
and
time.
nonsense.
All right, this one. Black men and women love each other in the real world. Hurt people just be loud online.
Thread it.
Thread it, okay.
I agree. And I agree because I see a lot of black couples in real life.
Mm-hmm.
They're not ratchet, ghetto, you know.
Yeah,
There
they're
are
not having
still,
problems.
Right. I myself am engaged to a black man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are not toxic like social media likes to portray.
Yeah,
And I just feel like those black love still very much exists.
for sure.
I do feel like on social media we are shown the opposite for a reason. I don't know
Yeah.
what that reason is, but
Engagement,
that's the narrative. Rage bait.
Yeah,
Jinx.
yeah, exactly. Because they know people
Yeah.
gonna get mad about it.
Yep,
So,
that's what they try to push. But I do feel like black love is very much still a thing. And I will say, like, even the NBA players and the football players, they're starting to get hip.
hey, yeah.
They're starting to get hip, and they're dating the
Yeah,
R&B
they not
girls.
messing with the snow bunnies, no.
You know what I'm saying? So we are coming back to reality.
Hey, yo.
You know, nothing wrong with interracial relationships or be who you want to be with. But yes, I did notice that
I'm weak.
they are
She said,
starting to
I'm
come
proud
around.
of the brothers
yes,
out there.
Yes, you're doing right.
Nah, I agree with that though. I feel like, yeah, stuff is overblown like on the internet, and it's kind of like I can't remember where I heard about it before, but it's like when you read reviews, most of the time it's gonna be either highly positive or highly negative.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot in the middle where it's like it's just cool, like there's no problems, no complaints or whatever, and it's like, all right, most of the stuff you're gonna see on the internet, yeah, it's the negative stuff, the negative opinions, all of that. And there's a whole world out there. There's still people that don't use social media. Like they exist. You know what I mean? So social media is not real.
No,
You know,
for real.
it's
And
not
I have
reality.
to tell myself that too
Yeah.
often.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I kind of take breaks. I'm sure everybody notices that by now about me. I take, and I'm trying to get better at that.
Yeah.
Because I take too long of breaks to where I don't want to come back.
Yeah,
You know, for real.
sure.
That's just me being honest. Because I'm like,
'Cause
when
life
you
is
live in
so
real
peaceful.
life, yes,
Yeah.
like I
It's
love
so
it.
peaceful.
I be in my backyard with my
With your
veggies
plants and
and
stuff.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
the dog in the yard, the kids running around. You know, that's my piece right
Yeah,
there. So
for sure. I took a break in January, like, because I
okay,
wanted to start the year off just like being influenced by myself and not other stuff. You know what I mean? And that was a very peaceful month for me. And it's kind of sucks because once you get back on social media, it's like you kind of, I think it makes it more apparent. You start feeling that like, dang, why do I have the urge to check my phone so much? Or like, why am
no,
I
you
logging
do.
back in? Like,
Right,
what am I looking for? You know what I
right.
mean? And it's like when you remove that, you stop looking for it. You start just looking at what's right in front of you and appreciating it. You know what I mean? So yeah,
That's true.
yeah, I agree with you on that. All right, let me see. Oh, interesting. We're not going to use this one, but somebody said some people out here really don't know what empathy is, and you had just mentioned
Wow.
that.
See,
So,
I may tell a joke.
all right, this one is more of a fun one. So, this person said, "Dear Netflix, you splitting a show into two parts doesn't build excitement. You just kill the momentum of it."
I agree. I agree because I felt like that. Well, I felt that way with Squid Games.
Oh, okay, got you, got you.
Yes,
Yeah, because I did. Yeah, now I think about it, I think I did watch the first part. And then how long was it before the second part
it was like
came?
a few months.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I want to
But
say.
that's enough time to.
Yeah, I was done. I did it. I still
That's
to
enough
this
time to
day.
tune out,
I
though.
did not finish the latest season of Squid Games because of that. I just
Yeah,
mentally checked out.
yeah,
Sorry, Squid Games. Love you.
yeah. I don't see why they would do that, especially nowadays, because a lot of series it takes like it might take 2 years for the next season. You know what I mean? And at least with that, it's like, all right, I know, okay, it's gonna be a minute, but just a few months, I might miss that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, oh, the
Forget all
second
about
season
it.
came out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I feel like I need to cancel my Netflix subscription though, because I don't really
You don't be up there.
I don't really be.
See, they have gems. You just gotta find them.
I guess so. I guess so. I gotta go up there. What's your favorite like genre of movies?
Ooh, definitely suspense. I love a good
Yeah,
suspense or thriller. That is me all day.
for sure.
And horror. Straight up
Horror,
horror.
for
Yeah.
real. I feel like horror movies they're kind of goofy sometimes.
They
Though. Like,
are, but that's why I like the suspense, the suspenseful horror, you
oh,
know,
okay, got
that
you,
have
got you.
like that keep you on the edge of your seat, but it's
Yeah,
not corny.
and predictable.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause like some of them it be like, all right, bruh, he chasing her, she about to fall. Like
And
you know
that's
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah.
Like okay, like we know what's
Uh,
about to happen.
what is it? Jason.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
those movies or whatever.
Very predictable.
Even the ghost movies though, it's like okay, it's mad quiet and peaceful. It's about to be a jump scare. Like
Right,
I
right,
already
right.
know it's coming. You know
You
what I
can
mean?
kind of tell. Yeah,
So-
I don't mess with the spiritual, demonic stuff too
Oh
much.
nah,
Yeah, like the possession movies, absolutely not.
nah. Yeah, I had to stop watching.
Now, a good
those.
serial killer movie, I can get into that. You know what I'm saying? We can get into that. But yeah, anything where there's summonings,
Nah, yeah, I can't watch that stuff because I
I'm
used
good.
to like before I don't know what I was doing. I used to watch that before I go to sleep, and
Oh,
then
see, me too.
Next thing I know, I'm having like nightmares.
Yep.
And I'm thinking like I'm just having nightmares. Like no, bro, you have these images in your head,
Yeah,
so when you go to sleep, you're
subconsciously.
seeing these images, and that shit is scary.
It
you know what I
is.
mean? So yeah, for the people that do that out there, hey, if that's what you want to do,
Right?
like,
Yeah, to each his own.
what I mean?
But yeah, we can't get down with that.
All right. So we do got to get into what I wanted to get into. I had talked to you about this too, like right after it happened. So, and you actually told me that this is something that you've heard from other people, but I was on a podcast recently and they were asking me if there was an artist out here, like if I wanted to start a label, who would I sign? And I mentioned you as an artist that I would sign because I really love your music and your
Thank
sound and
you.
everything. You know what I mean? So one of the critiques that was given when I mentioned this was that you're boring. And you've told me that you've heard other people say this as well. So what would you say to the people out there who think that you're boring?
I would just really say it's not for you. You know, the ones who get it truly get it.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that for myself too, because
For sure.
for so long I was so focused on trying to win everybody over and
Yeah.
get everybody to like me, but I don't like everybody.
Yeah.
So, you know, nobody likes
Yeah.
everybody. So I can't expect the same when it comes to me. So, you know, people are entitled to their own opinion. And at the same time, now I got to just turn up even
Yeah,
more. So
for
that's, it's cool. So yeah, you can't let things like that get in your head. And it did bother me. You know, it bothered me. But, you know, at the end of the day, I had to sit and ponder on it. And I'm like, you know what? It's all good.
I had to calm her down.
Yeah, facts. I was like,
she was over there like doxing stuff, like looking people up. I was like, yo, don't even don't take it that
crazy,
way.
But
yeah, and I just had to tell you, just as like your friend, like, cause I didn't want you to just see the podcast and be like,
and I appreciate you
know
for
what I mean?
that.
Like, wait, what? That's crazy. He ain't say nothing to me or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I obviously disagree. You know what I mean?
I appreciate you.
I think your music is dope. And I think you're different too. So it's like, you know, even for somebody to say boring, it's like, what are you looking for?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think even that's a more constructive conversation to have.
I agree.
Than just, you know, saying a blanket statement. And I mean, the person who said it, he's kind of an unfiltered person, and that's kind of his role or whatever. But it's like, all right, what's the constructive way to go about? Because clearly you're a fan as well, because the person follows you. You know what I mean? So
clock that T.
And there ain't no
no like, smoke, no smoke. All up.
Nah, I love all y'all out there, but yeah. And I think it's important what you said though, as an artist, like you can't win everybody over. And the thing is, you don't have to at this point. Like everybody can find their own audience, and you can sell and like appeal to that specific audience and really make a living off of that. There's a lot of people, I mean, they're not famous, but they have a certain like following that really fucks with them, and they'll buy their merch. They'll go to their shows. They'll do all these things. And it's kind of like I mean, that's all you really want as an artist, to be able to make a living off of doing what you love. You know what I mean? So
that's exactly where I am. Yeah. That's the goal.
For sure. But I do want to ask, so what's next for you? I know you did drop the EP. That was last year.
That was last year. Yep. Yeah. It's been real hush hush for me. Well, no, but you know, I'm always working. I'm just a silent worker. I'm actually going to start working on my next project in the fall.
Got you.
So literally September, we're right there. I was like, all right, we're getting back to it, full throttle. Yeah. Don't have a name yet. Don't know where I'm going with it. So I can't really give you too much on that. But it is coming, because it's time. I've had enough time to, you know, reassess things and try to see where I want to go next and what I want to do. That's the hardest part for me, is deciding, because it's cool when you do multiple things until it's time to do one thing. Yeah. So that's what I deal with. It's like, okay, are we going to sing? Are we going to rap? Are we doing both? Okay, I want to rap. I want to sing. And then I kind of just, so, but we got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
We got to start somewhere.
But I feel like you could really start however you feel, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever the music, like, gives you or whatever. Because I feel like I'm in a similar boat, because, well, I really started off mainly rapping, and then recently I've gotten more melodic and singing and stuff like that. And there is, like, a part of me that always feels like, no, I have to rap. Like, I have to show these niggas or something. Yeah.
Bars,
like, you know what I mean?
Bars.
And but even recently, there's a part of me like, nah, but now I want to show them that I can sing or whatever. And it's like, in both cases, I feel like I have to reel myself in and like, all right, don't think about what people are going to think. Like, what do you feel? What does this, you know, like inspire you to do? You know what I mean? But something I did want to ask you about too, because I feel like, well, you just have kind of like a positive aura just about you.
Thank you. I try, even though I crash out sometimes, as you see.
Oh, you one of those? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I do. You know, I be crashing out a little bit. Well, no, because try to, you know, I don't want to be fake with it. That's why
For
I
sure.
mentioned that, because I don't want to be looked at as Miss Perfect, because I'm far from
Yeah,
that.
yeah. No,
So I just,
you mad
yeah,
cool though. Like
I had
you
to
always gave
just.
me that type of vibe. But the reason I asked is because you said you didn't have a name for the next EP, and I noticed that the last one was called Just for Fun, was it? Or
Yep,
Just for Fun?
fun
And
for me.
Fun for me.
It's just fun for me.
It's just fun for me. Okay,
Yes.
okay. And then before that, it was
So
so
far,
far
so
so
great.
great. Yeah, and these are both like, those are like both positive, like kind of
Upbeat.
happy, yeah, messages. So, I just noticed that pattern. Is that something that you do intentionally, or is it just?
For sure. Because that's how I am.
Mhm.
Like, I'm very animated, as you know.
Yeah.
So I like when that reflects in my music, but at the same time, I can I feel like this go round, I'll be more vulnerable
Yeah.
and more willing to, you know, hit those times that aren't so happy, you
Okay.
know. So that's what I'm working on, because I could speak, and I like to be positive and speak positively in my music, because I kind of write as a journal to myself.
Yeah.
So like you said, like, oh, it should be for us.
Right.
My music is actually for me, believe it or not. Like,
Yeah.
it's just whoever likes it happens to like it, and I love you guys for that, you know. But most times it is like for me to go back to, like, my first song that I ever performed, "Too Close." You should get to know. I wrote that for me. Like,
Yeah.
that was, and I still, that song came out in what, 2022, but I still revisit it
Yeah.
sometimes and just listen to what I was saying, because it's like I'm continuously having to revisit it, you know, at different stages in my life. So it's kind of cool to come back to and be like, okay, what did we do wrong, you know, and
What
what
with the
do we?
song? Like,
Well,
what would
no,
you do?
like just in
Oh.
life, like the lyrics
Oh,
to
the
this
lyrics.
song.
Okay,
Yes.
got you,
So
got you.
"Too
Okay.
Close" is really about you know, just having good people around you, you
Okay.
know,
Oh, okay. Not letting
and
them
not
too close. Okay.
having good, you know, after not having good people around you for so long, you finally have a strong bond, you know, a strong unit, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
at the time I wrote it, I thought I had a strong unit, you know. And
Okay.
then you know, things happened to where I was, you know, alone again, and then I had to, you know, go back and refine myself,
Yeah.
basically. So
Yeah. No,
that's why that's will always be one of my favorites, because it just speaks to me personally.
that's dope. That's dope. That's actually a good segue, because you said you had to find yourself and kind of redefine yourself. So I'm actually dropping a single next month. It's called Reinvent Me. And so this is actually the last question I want to ask you. What is reinvention? Like, what does that mean to you? And do you feel like well, you did say you had to refine yourself, but do you have any other examples of like where you had to reinvent yourself, even maybe as an artist?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So first, reinventing to me is like another fancy word for rebranding. So when I hear reinvent, I think, like, you know, you're under construction and you're shooting to make yourself better, whatever that may be. I'm sorry, what was the second part to your question?
Just like, have you felt like you've ever had to reinvent yourself? You did
Oh
mention it a little
yes,
bit, but
I did. So I wasn't always rapping. I started off strictly singing,
yeah.
and I was like real slow R&B, like
Okay, the slow
real,
jams. All
yeah,
right.
slow jams, Hot 91 type.
White Storm.
You know, so and I remember when I first started rapping in college, my friends were like, just stick to the singing. You know, they were
Oh,
like, they're like,
damn.
just, until still to this day, I still have people who remember me as a singer, and they're like, oh, you should just stick to the singing. And I
Yeah.
was like, F you, I'm doing what I
Yeah,
want, you
nah.
know. So I feel
However
like
you
that
express yourself.
was a
Yeah.
way of me reinventing myself,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, going against the grain, because I don't like to be, I know this is cliche, but I don't like to be put in a box.
For sure. For sure.
So I don't like to label myself as one thing, because I might change, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm constantly trying to reinvent myself.
Word. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. But all right, that's a bet. Can you let the people know where they can find you?
Yes, you can find me everywhere at iamalexa.rae.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
That's it.
That's it. Apple Music, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. You can find me.
Bet. But all right, y'all. That was episode 2 of Dolo Discussion.
And thank you for having me. Woo!
Yeah. I appreciate you.